Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of Loop Hero. On the last part we retreated on our run at camp and kept all of our resources. We completed about 4 loops but we got nowhere near getting to see the boss. We were probably only about 60-70% towards that meter. And we were fairly close to dying on a few occasions and we've wussed out, we came back to camp. We've built a field kitchen which now lets us add another card to our deck. And we have no more resources to build anything else, such as the herbalist hut and the smithy. So let's go back out on the adventure. Hopefully this additional campfire buff will help us sustain longer than 4 loops than we did before. And hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of the end game of this act. We've also been given a Blood Grove card, which I believe can now add on our expedition deck. So this is now opened out onto chapter 1. So enemies have 0 or 1 abilities. The only ability I think we've seen so far is Vampirism on the vampires. They have a strength debuff and their growth is only 2% per loop. We can only get to 10 stacks of each resource. We're playing as the warrior, it's the only class we have at the moment. And this class has specific stats such as Vampirism, Regeneration, Evade, Counterattack, Attack Speed, and Damage to all. And then just general defense, attack and defense. I don't think we saw Counterattack go off before, so we'll look out for that in the future. But what I want to do, I think, is modify our deck for now and see what this Blood Grove is. So in this deck building menu, we have all the cards that we have in our collection in our deck at the moment. We now have this Blood Grove. Lying Forest preys on wounded occupants of adjacent tiles, may spawn something dreadful from their remains. So it can place near a forest adjacent to the road. Its roots devour enemies that have less than 5% HP left. Okay, so that's just so. Sorry, it's 15% HP, so it's actually very strong. So I definitely want to put this into my deck. I'm not sure what these numbers means. I guess this means we can only have 5 of this type of card in our deck and have to have 2. None of the other cards I'm too sad about having in the deck, so I might keep everything else as it is and just add Blood Grove. So let's confirm this. And we can start again. So the loop has now changed. I'm not sure if the distance always stays the same, but it's definitely a different shape. We've lost all the stuff that we had before, but we're now back at our full HP. One thing I thought I would mention as well, I know some people have been complaining about the pixelated fonts. I quite like them, I think it's aesthetically pleasing and fits the theme of the game, but there is a menu to change this into a high-res font or a dyslexia-friendly font. For now, I'm just going to keep this on pixel font now. Again, we should have no problem on this loop dealing with the single enemies. We should comfortably beat single slimes. And we're hoping to get some decent loot off the first one. So immediately we've got a spider cocoon, which I want to place on the inside of the corner so that spiders can spawn in as many towers as possible. We want to level up as fast as possible. We have a rock and I'm just going to start this at the top left again, as I did before. And we have a shield, which we didn't have before, so let's equip it. I'm also going to open the resource bag so we have a preserved pebble from placing those rocks. We've got a cemetery now. So we did fight a skeleton before, seems like a very tough enemy. So I think I will keep this away from the spider spawn. I might put it near the camp so we know roughly how our HP is going to be. We have another spider cocoon which I would like to place on the inside of another corner. So I think I will take a risk and place it here. So we could have a lot of spider swarms there. We might want to put a lantern there to limit their numbers. And we have a mountain which we'll place next to rock for adjacency bonus and carry on. So a day has passed and we have 2 spider spawns. Again, we should have no problem with this, but we are now starting to take some trickle damage. We've gained another grove and another spider cocoon. Let's place the rock next to the mountain. I don't think I want a third spider's nest in the top left. Let's keep it over this side now. And we'll have a grove near it. Let's put them together. I'm not sure if the number of enemies in the battle changes the battle difficulty. I assume that's the case. So we might get better loot off fighting multiple enemies. Again, it's this balancing act though of having your loop hard enough to get good enough loot to defeat the boss without just dying on the loop. Last time we were going to die on our next loop, but hopefully now with some additional buffs from to the healing per day, we should be able to last longer and maybe see the boss this time. So we have a mountain again and a meadow. Meadow again, as we mentioned, we found out last time, has a hidden adjacency bonus to other tiles. So let's place this next to the rock. And we also found out a 3x3 grid of rocks and mountains makes like a high peak. And I think we'll aim for that again. So far we've only picked up a shield, which is not great loot. Hopefully we'll pick up a weapon soon. And speak of the devil, we have a yellow spear, which I presume is the legendary type. So it's 4 to 6 damage with 7% counter and 6% vampirism. Love it. And a ring with vampirism, so we have now 15% vampirism. So hopefully we'll start out healing the damage. We have another grove, which I think I will just place next to the other one. So there doesn't seem to be an interaction there, but I was just testing it. I mentioned in the description of the first video, but I had seen the first hour of this game from a file that wasn't recorded properly. From now on it's basically blind. I'm not sure if this loop will change anyway from the previous one, but we'll find out together. I think I want to keep the 9% vampirism. We died last time on low health, so anything that can raise our health seems good. This is just worse than what we have, so I sleep on it. And a skeleton. This was a tough battle for us last time, nearly killed us. But on the second loop, we seemed quite comfortable. And now we have a first piece of armour, so this is level 3 armour. Again, we had nothing before, so we definitely want it, but this is damage to all. I assume the damage to all and the vampirism synergize, but I'm not certain. So we're healing about 2 every hit, so we're not taking too much damage. We have a beacon now. So this gives a movement speed and a 20% attack speed for all units. I think the spiders don't have an ability at the moment, so I think I'm happy to place this into this corner over here. Trying to optimize the amount of tiles. So this is 4 tiles, so we'll go here. And this will benefit us because we have vampirism, so the more hits we get, the more times vampirism can proc, and the more HP we can get back. But we now have to bear in mind we probably don't want to put a vampire mansion near here because they also have vampirism. Another day passes. So just hovering over the spider, yeah, they don't seem to have an ability, they're just living. And vampirism is being very nice to us at the moment. Base of the keeping is topped up. We have more spiders. And I say yes, let's place some more. We're not struggling at the moment, let's go with it. 2 enemies this time. We still heal 2, so I'm not sure if the vampirism is proccing with damage to all. Or it might just be so low that it's rounding down. Let's place another mountain up here. This shield is just better, so let's swap up and carry on. Again, not wanting that range. Same range, and I think I prefer the vampirism. Let's stick with the vampirism theme for now. It seems to be working very nicely for us. So this area is now starting to get a bit dangerous. So we'll see how we handle this, but we have our camp immediately afterwards, so we'll heal. So I'm quite happy at the moment with how things are going. We're maybe just less than 20% to spawning the boss. Oh, maybe the vampirism is triggering on damage to all. We just had, I think, a heal for 5 if I saw correctly, which is higher than we were before. Let's have a meadow here, rock here, and let's have a meadow on this side instead. This armor's worse. We can have it. Again, just worse, not equipping. And another beacon. We just passed through our camp and we healed to full, so everything's going great so far. we're one mountain or rock away from getting the high peak, and the mountain after that will spawn the goblin camp, which again I'm happy to do. We have another beacon, which again I think we just keep over here with our spiders at the moment. But we have to bear in mind the vampire mansion we should not keep over here now. This so far definitely feels like it's going a bit better than the last run, where I feel like we were a bit under-equipped for the run. We were having level 1 loot quite late into the game. Do I want 3 defense? I'm not sure. I don't think this is necessarily an upgrade. I think I'd keep the 9% evasion for now. And we've got our first blood grove. So this damages enemies. So it can be placed near a forest adjacent to the road. Okay, so this has to go next to our grove, which I guess is counting as a forest tile. So let's put it here. We have another cemetery. I'm not sure if cemeteries have an effect next to each other, so let's try it out. A skeleton won't spawn because we're not on the day timer, and we have another meadow, which will get an adjacency bonus off, and another mountain. So now we'll have the high peak. We get all those resources, which we'll use to upgrade our camp later, and now harpies can spawn. I don't think we fought a harpy on the last run. I don't think we did, so we're not sure how tough these are yet, so maybe we're going to see a difficulty spike now. So the skeleton's hitting us for 22, so it is very dangerous, but it seems to attack quite slowly. I should hover over to check if they have any other effects. Also, I just noticed we have now a level 4 shield, and now I think I will swap the evasion. This is 8 additional defense stats and more healing, and I think what we learned off the last run is we need healing. We've got another grove. Oops, I meant to pause, my mistake. We'll place this on the next one. But at the moment, we're just wrecking these enemies. Right, we have a treasury. So a treasury, we didn't unlock it last time, but we'll try this time. And we'll start placing our meadows by the treasury. We have an additional grove, which I think I will keep over here if I can. You also can build on your camp tile if you wanted to know, so maybe I should have moved this grove here. But we'll hopefully get another one in the future. Let's keep these together. I'm not sure if this stacks with one another. I presume it doesn't. So let's place another one here and just keep this as like our grove, blood grove area. Still waiting to see our first vampire mansion as well. Another mountain. So this will spawn a goblin camp, which I'm happy for. And a day will probably take over before we get there, so we'll hopefully have to clear that one goblin off before multiple can spawn. We now have multiple weapons, so we do have some at 8 to 12, so that is effectively doubling our damage. But we will be trading vampirism and counter for it. I think we go with it. I think we change to get the high stats now. I'm not sure the vampirism is worth it, or the counter. I think the raw stat will be stronger. Killing things faster is better. So our day just ticked over then, and he countered the spider in the tower, so this is quite a difficult fight for us, 4 enemies. And we're making quite light work of it. Another rock. It might be worth placing the rock over here just to unlock the treasury. I think I'll try it, because last time we didn't get it, so let's use some of these rocks over here. Our shields that we got just worse than what we have, so let's carry on again. And a harpy flew behind us, so hopefully we'll... And I think for certain we'll see another loop, so we'll fight the harpy next time. Another meadow. Single goblin. We beat 2 or 3 last time. And he's given us a much, much better weapon. So I'm happy to upgrade again. So this gives us summon defense as well. I assume some of the weapons have specific stats to them, so maybe polearms always give defense. And over time we might be able to just look at the picture and know roughly if we want the weapon or not, rather than hovering over. We have another treasury. Unfortunately we can't place it next to an adjacent tile so that it'd pop earlier. So I think for now I'm just going to place it a bit higher, and we will hopefully be able to unlock this later, but I'm not certain at the moment if we will have the time to do it. So we're trotting along, another day goes past. Single rat wolf, easy. Another cemetery. I think we keep having skeletons over here. And things are going really well right now. We're taking very little damage. We've maybe lost 10% of our HP. We've just picked up another blood grove, and it's now acting. So this looks really good. We're killing things a lot quicker, as the grove is killing them at 15% HP. So let's have another one over here. We've now picked up our first vampire mansion, and we have to think about where we want to put it. We said we're not going to put it up here near the beacons. So maybe we'll have the vampire mansion with the skeletons, although that becomes a much more difficult battle. The skeletons hit hard, and the vampires seem to survive quite long. So it might be my hubris if I put it here and die coming into it. So I think for now, actually, let's go here for a safer time. Mountains I'm going to keep up here. They have a better adjacency bonus. And I think it's worth more than popping the treasury for now. Again, blood growth helps us, and we heal to full. We've now got our first battlefield. Again, I think we will try to place this away from the mob so we get the chest for free and we don't get any ghosts. We'll see how we last on the next one. The next one we might put next to a single mob, maybe next to the goblin camp, so we can start getting ghosts and see if they give us better loot. And again, another mountain tile goes down. We're now on enemy loot 4, so again they're hitting harder and harder. But I think this time we're scaling it a lot better. I also missed this before, we got a better armor. It swaps damage to all, but I think that's more than worth the HP we gain. And we lose vampirism on this ring, but we gain some additional damage. It's always better to kill things faster. Let's trade up. This weapon is one stat better, but we lose defense. I don't think that's worth it. We'll use this meadow again to open, or try to open the treasury. Our resources are also now beginning to stack up, so this is quite a resource heavy run, so we might not want to try to fight the boss. We might want to take what we've got and try and improve further. As I said, I've not seen the boss yet, so we don't know how difficult he's going to be. So we have another beacon now. I don't think any of the enemies here gain any benefit from attacking more, so I think I'm happy to have this over here as well. As I said, the only thing that I've seen so far with an ability is the vampire. So let's have our beacon over here so we attack faster. And we still have vampirism, so it benefits us to be going faster. And our other meadow, another adjacency bonus here. This is our first fight with a vampire on this loop. Again, hits quite hard, it's going for like 13 damage and is regenning off it because of vampirism. But no match for us at the moment. We're 2 tiles away from opening the treasury for the first time. Interestingly, the adjacency bonus doesn't seem to be a corner for this. So it's something we're going to have to watch out for, I guess. We now have another shield with lower defense by 1. I assume the second defense just adds on to it. But it comes with evasion and vampirism, 6%. I'm not sure at the moment if 6% vampirism is better than 1.8 regen per second. It's hard to work out what the per sec actually does. I don't know if it's just ticking over per tile or how it ticks over in the battle. But the 6% vampirism at the moment is probably worth 1 or 2 HP per hit. So I think for now we'll just stay with what we've got on our shield. We have a first oblivion, so we could remove a tile if it becomes too difficult. I'm looking at the goblins over here. Maybe we remove the camp, but we'll see. I don't feel the urge to use it yet. Well, HP is still at max HP and we're halfway through the loop, but we are coming onto probably the more difficult side of our loop. We're going to use a rock over here. Oh, it's our first attack with the Harpy, apparently. No. What do you mean, no? You want to save the world? You want to ask for help? Our answer is no. How did you... But why no? We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time there has been just emptiness instead of the sky, but it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way of saving the world. That's why no one will ever join you. I mean, I don't know if she knows yet, but we've already got some allies back at our camp. Fine. I don't fully understand you, but tell me your version. What does to save the world mean to you? My progeny are my kin, for them to be strong and to live. It's part of the cycle of life and death. It is life itself. It is the world. I will kill you and feed your remains to my starving younglings. And life will go on. And how many lives does your blade give birth to by killing it again and again? Only one. I don't want you or your children to die from starvation. Please try to see reason. I think reason is far gone for the Harpy right now, or brave warrior. If my mission succeeds, Harpies can be all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need. Oh, sorry, they can have it. I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. It's time to say goodbye. Let's see how the Harpy deals. Again, quite moderate damage, but we pretty comfortably dealt with it. I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm becoming a source of another. There's no home for Harpies except the highest mountains. But there's no food there. I can't imagine how they managed to survive if their mountains were cut off from reality. We have picked a rapier for the first time, so this has vampirism on it. Slightly lower damage. Again, I think we lean into this vampirism. Even though it is a level lower, I think we go for this. And say goodbye to the defense. Especially over for this corner where attacking fast, so vampirism will prop much more. So we have another vampire mansion that we'll place now on another rock. So for the first time we're going to open up one of these treasuries. And it's given us 2 legendary weapons, shields and a ring. And it's given us a lot of resources. So it seems well worth opening it. So this ring has lower magic damage. It gives us regen, more vampirism, more evasion. I think it's just better. So again, we're going to equip it. Again, the defense is equal. Our regen per set goes down by a third, but we gain more evasion and we have damage to all. Our evasion currently is at 17%, so we would be going up to 15% evasion. And if things can't hit us, we're going to survive. So, and orange is just better than blue, so let's go with that. And I think we'll use these meadows to start opening up this additional treasury. So far, I've not felt anything's going too difficultly. So I'm pretty happy to place another vampire mansion. Just deciding where to at the moment. I said we don't want to be in the effects of our beacons. So we definitely don't want it over here. So maybe let's place it on the corner of the skeleton to make this a much more difficult area. If we feel like it's too hard, we can always oblivion it. So this is 3 goblins now. Who are all hitting pretty hard actually. And it's for the first time we've really noticed our health go down significantly, but since the battle is very hard, we're also getting great loot off it. We also just missed another goblin spawn, which was great for us. So this is 1 more damage, has higher evasion, some regen, and some defense, but we trade away 9% of our vampirism. It does mean our evasion would go up to 26, so that's 1 every 4 hits not hitting us. That's great for the skeletons coming up, which seem to attack a lot slower and a lot harder. So I think we'll go with this. And our other weapon is lower damage overall, but with counter. I think we'll keep with what we have. Our third fighter just joined the fight in time. But again, easy. I mean, everything's going incredibly well so far. Much better than our last run. We had to retreat on this loop on our last run when we hit the camp, but we definitely look like at the moment we're going to go further. We have another grove. Let's place it near the blood grove we have already. And another battlefield. So we're starting to run out of places to place this without a mob spawning, so I think we'll try it on this corner here. Let's have it here. The odd spider might move onto this tile, so we could see a ghost. But I think for now we can deal with it. So we have a single Harpy again. It should be no problem, it wasn't before. And it gives us another meadow, which again, let's try and open another treasure room. Get more resources and try and build faster. Single rat wolf again. I sleep on it. We have a first road lantern. So we can place this in places to reduce the number of spawns. I think for now, let's have it at the goblins. We've just got a Harpy on here as well, and the 3 goblins will probably be the most difficult fight we've had so far. So let's try and limit the amount of goblins that can spawn on here. I thought there was a Harpy here, but it looks like a slime now. Either way, let's limit the number we can get over there. So another 4 fights for us, but we're being helped by Blood Grove, which appears to be an incredibly strong card that we've added to our deck. Loving it so far. I've had everything that's given us just this little extra bit of survivability, being able to kill things faster, has been well worth it. As I said, we're going to comfortably make our loop. Last time we were on about 10% or less of our HP. Now we're about 90 to 80% of our HP. We have another grove. If we place the other grove here, we're going to go into the effect of the battlefield. So I might hold on to this one for now. We have a rock, which I shall place onto the corner here to start opening up this treasury. And we have another grove. Sorry, we had that grove. As I said, we'll hold it. We also have some level 5 loot now, so this one has 20% counter. We've not really played with counter at the moment, so I think I'm just going to leave this for now. But it seems a very high stat to have 20% counter. We also have this Gladius, which is a great increase to just our base damage, but comes with no other stats. It would really hurt our evasion to take this, so I might hold off on it for now. Yeah, I think I'll hold off on this at the moment. I'm not sure if the stat is worth it, but I may be wrong. We'll find out over time. We'll hopefully be able to assess what's more important, raw stats or effects. So we have another rock. Let's place it down. We're now into our skeleton and vampire alley. Enemies have got harder, so this is the furthest we've gone into an expedition. But things are going well. We're still quite high up on HP. We're now getting level 6 loot. So magic damage up by a considerable amount, and our regen would also go higher, but we start to lose evasion and vampirism. Let's try it. Let's see if the regen buff is better than the vampirism. So we just healed for, well, like 35 then, which I'm all for. 2 tiles off opening this additional treasury. I'm still holding on to our grove. And we look like at the moment we're maybe 70% of the way to fighting the boss. And I think we have a realistic chance of fighting on this run. We seem strong enough at least. But we'll see when we fight the boss if we are actually strong enough for it. We are now starting to get chipped down pretty considerably in this corner, so it appears that we need to start to scale up again. So let's pause. We have a level 6 weapon. I think this time, because we're not losing the evasion, we're actually gaining it, I will swap it for the regen and defense. It's also a much greater damage bonus. This shield is 1 more defense for 4 magic damage, but we lose regen and evasion and damage to all. No deal. We're now 1 tile off the treasury. Again, I hold on to the grove for now. We have a mountain. I think I'm still going to place this over here for the adjacency bonuses. I'm not sure if we can get another high peak or if it's just 1 at a time. So this is our first time fighting a chest. The chest hasn't fought back. I know off a previous run that they can also be mimics as well, which actually are quite dangerous. So you need to be careful placing these battlefields close to one another. because if we got 2 mimics, it would actually probably be quite a difficult fight early on. So we now have a level 5 shield, which has 1 additional defense. Actually, more than 1 because it's given us another 2. Gives us 18% counter. I mean, we've lost all the vampirism, so I don't think there's a huge benefit to the counter. And I'm not sure if the 3 defense is worth the evasion. I think I'm going to stick on the evasion for now. If we get a stronger vampirism synergy, counter probably makes that more worthwhile, so our counters will also be getting vampire hits. So I think we'll stick with what we've got. But definitely now we are starting to feel the difficulty spike up through the loops. So much so that I don't want to place down this Vampire Mansion or the growth we got before either. So no good loot again. Let's open up our treasury and hope for the best. Hope for some good loot. A level 5 shield. This is considerably better. Sorry, not shields. Armor. This is considerably better than the basic one we have before. It's due an upgrade, so let's upgrade it. We also have this orange ring. So this is a big drop down in magic damage. Gives us some evasion, which we have been stacking. But as I said, I think we need the regen. So I'm going to keep it as it is. We have another road lantern, which do apparently stack. And I think I will now start putting this up here to reduce the number of enemies, especially spiders spawning and the goblins. So I saw this worked retroactively apparently, and it removed the goblin off the tile. I didn't know if they were going to stay there until we defeated it, but that was very strong I think for us. We're also probably approaching the point now where we're going to get another goblin camp. No, not yet. It'd be nice for somewhere this just to tell us what we're on at the moment. But it feels like we should have hit... Oh, we did hit one, sorry. I'm completely missed it. I'm not happy that they've spawned there. I think I'm going to obliviate the camp. And if I get another one, I think I'll obliviate that tile because it's in our battlefield square. So if these all start turning into ghosts, this could be a very difficult battle. Single slime, no problem for us at the moment. We had what looked like a gargoyle there. Not sure what's caused him to spawn. Just pause it for a moment. I'm not sure where it said that. Someone might have to tell me in the comments, or we'll find out in the future what spawned a gargoyle. Interesting. We have another road lantern that limits spawns. I'm tempted to try and get, if we can get 2 here, we could remove a monster off this tile. So I think we will go for it here, but we need another one to remove one of these mobs. I also don't know if it removes one at random or if it'll take the strongest one. Before it left a slime and took a goblin, but that could have just been RNG. Let's place another rock over here because we have no more treasuries to open for now. And another rock over here. Another blood grove, so this could be very helpful to us to have it on this corner. So this is going to affect 3 more tiles now, without placing another another grove tile. In the future we might want to put a grove here and a blood grove here. But I said blood grove seems excellent. We have another cemetery and another battlefield. Sorry, I unpaused it, but I think we might try to place... definitely try and place another blood grove if we can. But this will mean we have to place a grove. I think I'm okay for this. So yeah, I think we'll try a grove here and a blood grove here to affect many tiles. This will definitely help us to get through this area, even with spawning another enemy. We have another battlefield, which I might try and place here. I don't know if it's an adjacency bonus, but if we can get 2 chests on the tile, we'll see how that works. As I said before, we could be a bit worried about it, but we're really running out of spaces where we can place these things without touching a guaranteed spawn. And we have another cemetery, which I'm going to hold on to for now. As I said, we might choose not to fight the boss on this, depending on how our HP looks out after we go through this back corner. And we are approaching a point now where we're going to summon him. So let's use Meadows over here to turn into Blooming Meadows. We have a level 6 armor now, which just looks better. So we're losing our magic damage, but we're gaining a decent chunk of HP, and we get more defense, and we have some chance to hit counter now. Let's go with it. Again, these very easy now because of the blood growth. We could also bear in mind that actually placing these blood groves would also give us a resource towards wood. But I think for now the difficulty is in a place where I'm quite content with it. So we now have a chest. This one's turned into a mimic this time. No effect, but it's hitting for 35.9 damage. Probably rounds to 36, which is a lot for enemies here. And it could potentially, I guess, turn into a ghost, which we've still not seen yet on any of our runs. But it's really hurting us, this chest, or the mimic. It has dropped a legendary piece of loot, but I think generally it's worse. We would be training 40ish HP for a bit of damage, a bit of counter, a bit less counter actually, but we would get 8% evasion. That would bring us up to 31% evasion, so there is an argument to be made that the less you're being hit, the less damage you're taking anyway, and it's also like, it's almost ultimately a pseudo heal if you're not getting hit. But I'm not comfortable taking that trade right now, even though the counter isn't really benefiting us. It could do if we get some very good vampire loot. We also have a level 5 shield here, which gives us more regen, more counter when we lose the evasion. I think I would like to keep the evasion in this case. I think some is fine, but I don't think we can rely on just not being hit for HP's sake. Our rock we're going to place up here. We're probably approaching again another goblin camp, and I have no Oblivion this time. I don't think I want to place the spiders down. So we're now coming into this corridor. This is a fight that I said would be quite hard. Unfortunately, we didn't get another lantern, which could have helped us. We have just picked up another legendary armor. More HP, more evasion, more regen. Trades off counter. Happy trade. We're not really doing anything with counter. So regen per second now is 4.2. As I said, I don't know if this is just per tile. I'm not sure how the per second ticks over in relation to the daytime. More meadows. Again, more triple of HP at the start of each day, so we'll take it. Just have to bear in mind now we're coming close to spawning this boss. We have another beacon. Not sure if we can place the beacon anywhere that benefits us really. But I'm beginning to get worried now. Our HP is about 25%. We're not really regenning too much. I can see now the gargoyle spawning, but I'm not sure what has spawned it. Maybe there was a beacon? I don't know. We have another additional arm which only gives us 9 HP. And for that we would trade our regen and evasion. Again, I sleep on that. We will take another mountain now. Didn't spawn a goblin camp. And the next beacon, I guess we could lean more into it on this side, but we're not really benefiting anymore from the vampirism. So I'm not sure if it's really a benefit or we get really any benefit off it. Let's try it out. But I think just both of us attacking faster doesn't really have a net positive for us right now. But we might want to consider retreating on our camp anyway. Because we're only going to heal for 30% of our HP, which is about 300 right now. So it'll only take us to about half HP. We have some more mountains and some more meadows. I think I will place the meadows for now. I could go through and count the mountains. I'm a bit reluctant to place them at the moment because I don't want another goblin camp to spawn. We're going to be at about half our HP. Enemies going to get more difficult. I have got another road lantern now. We have now taken so long that multiple days are passing, so that 2 skeletons are spawned on each of the tiles here. I'm getting a bit concerned as well spawning the boss right now. I think I might start placing the tiles down to get the resources and we can just leave and power up. I'm not sure if we can fight the boss at half our HP. I don't really know what the level is, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I think it'd be more beneficial for us right now to try and unlock more resources at the camp and then hopefully be stronger for our next run, which consequently will let us go further. Just off building the field kitchen, maybe with a bit of luck on our drops, I'm not sure, we went another full loop, and I'm quite happy with that. So, as I said, let's place the mountains down. Doesn't matter if the goblin spawns. I'm not sure if you get anything for just placing the groves. No, you don't. How about road lanterns? Doesn't seem like it. We don't want to spawn the boss. Let's just leave. So we can retreat now with all the resources. We've picked up a lot of things. We have a lot of food supplies. We have this thing called metamorphosis. And we've got a lot of stable metal. And we won't lose anything. I think, again, that was a great expedition for us. Another success. You've returned and we still remember you. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's good to be back, but I'd hardly call it a success. I mean, I'd call this a success, but Warrior clearly has higher standards. My old memories of the world are gone. The path is empty again, and there's only darkness everywhere I look. Interesting. So technically you remember that there are things you have forgotten. We should find a way to use that. Let's talk about something more positive. We managed to tidy the place up. It's time for the next step. What do you have in mind? Expanding the camp. We have all sorts of craftsmen from cooks to an alchemist, but they all need a place to work. But we can't use the materials from around here. You turn away for a second from a branch or a stone you've just found and it's gone. I'm afraid only you can solve this problem. The materials that survived your trip always look suitable for building. But these are just stones and splinters. How can you build something with them? Curious, eh? I noticed it with the fire you've made. The things you obtain somehow infect everything similar with stability. Only in small amounts, but it's still something. Even a small branch is enough to make a wooden wall exist without constant supervision. Okay, so that's very interesting to learn from the story aspect. That we're only picking up small amounts of this, like pebbles, and with it we're building like great walls and stuff in our camp. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out with the story later on. I'm loving this, as I said, so far. Let's just check before we finish, I think, for this part, if we can build anything else. So, actually, building the field kitchen has opened a refuge, which actually unlocks a new class, so that is something I definitely look for. Also, a gymnasium. So this would unlock the ability to gain special traits after killing monsters in expeditions. Not sure what that is yet. We're only a metal off it, actually. And it would unlock a village card. So, what I've seen at the moment from the Blood Grove, these new cards seem to be a considerable power creep for us. So again, it might be worth going on another expedition just to try and get this one more metal. We're also 2 rations off the herbalist hut and 2 metals off the smithy. So for now there is nothing we can build. I just noticed here that there's also a little symbol on this. And apparently there are upgrades available. I'm not sure where it says what the upgrade is for us, what we get. I don't know if it's just another 10%. I'll look into it, I guess, but for now I think I'm just going to leave this be. I think I'd prefer to unlock one of the other buildings anyway. We had no more cards, so I think for now that will do it. Thanks for watching again. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to. I'd appreciate it for a channel at the moment that is still very small, obviously. And I hope to see you next time.